Hi, welcome to a practice activity in which we are going to distinguish the past simple and the present perfect. The activity that I have for you is very simple. You will have to think about the time expressions that are used in each sentence to determine whether you use one verb tense or the other. Let's read the instructions together. Complete the following sentences using the past simple or the present perfect form of the verb provided. All right, it's very simple. Here you have the sentences, and as you can see, they have a blank and they have a verb at the end. That verb is suggested for you to complete the action. What you have to do, your mission, if you choose to take it, is to use that verb and use it to conjugate that and use it to complete the sentence, and conjugate it in the correct verb form. You have to see the time expression used there. All right, so pause the video for a moment, complete the activity, and I will see you in a moment. Very good. Let's see what your answers are. Let's see how they compare to mine. All right, the first sentence said, I blank the smartphone for 3 years. For 3 years. Remember that word for, like during? That means that that action has happened during certain time. So we use the present perfect. So the answer is, I have had this smartphone for 3 years. Why have had? Have, the first have is the auxiliary have, and the second one is the verb have. So I have had this smartphone for 3 years. All right, listen to the girl pronounce the sentence.
I have had this smartphone for 3 years.
Simple. 3 years is a good time for you to have a smartphone. Even more, of course. Look at the next example. I blank French when I lived in Paris for a year. There's a trick here because we have when I lived in Paris and for a year. So which is the main time expression there? The verb that we're going to use is learn. So when did you learn French? That was for a year or when you lived in Paris? The answer is I learned French. Why learned in the past simple? Because it's when I lived. Remember, that is one of the time expressions that you sorted in the previous activity. So I learned French when I lived in Paris for a year. So the person lived in Paris for a year, and then during that time, the person learned French. Simple. All right, listen to the girl pronounce it.
I learned French when I lived in Paris for a year.
Excellent. Let's look at the next one. I blank Lucia since we were in kindergarten. The verb is know. Since is the key there. What do you use? I have known Lucia. So since all that time until this present time, you have known the person, so you use the present perfect. I have known Lucia since we were in kindergarten. All right, listen to the girl pronounce the sentence.
I have known Lucia since we were in kindergarten.
That's excellent. I hope that you are practicing your pronunciation. Right. Next. She blank awake since 6 a.m. Since, again. So what form of be are we going to use there? She has been awake since 6 a.m. That's very good. So why has? Because we're talking about she. Yep, pretty simple. So listen to her pronunciation.
She has been awake since 6 a.m.
Very good. All right, and we have the last one. I blank in this restaurant with my friends last night. We have last night. So specific time, we use the past simple. Yes, the answer is I ate in this restaurant with my friends last night. Listen to her pronunciation, please.
I ate in this restaurant with my friends last night.
That's very good. All right, So for our next activity, we're going to talk about friends, and you're going to talk about your best friend. What are we going to say about him or about her? We'll see that in a moment.